I let my affair partner sleep in our bed while my husband was in the ICU after a car accident, then told his sister she was a jealous drama queen when she walked in and found us naked. Now the whole family hates me, but I'm the one who lost everything. Messages where I told him I was late and scared I might be pregnant. Messages where we talked about what we'd do if the pregnancy test was positive. Messages where I said maybe a baby would give my life meaning after losing my husband. I wasn't pregnant. My period came 2 days later and I never mentioned it again. But those messages existed. Messages talking about potentially carrying another man's baby while my husband fought for his life. My husband read each message out loud right there in the grocery store. His voice never wavered but his hands were shaking. When he finished he said I hope it was worth it and walked away. I stood there in the cereal aisle crying while other shoppers stared at me. The kind of ugly crying where you can't breathe and your whole body shakes. I cried for my marriage, for my husband, for the life I destroyed. But mostly I cried because I realized he was right. For those few weeks, when I thought I was losing everything, being with someone else did feel worth it. It felt like surviving. Like grabbing onto anything that would keep me from drowning. Now I'm drowning anyway and I have no one left to grab onto. My husband's family knows about the pregnancy scare messages now. His sister left me a voicemail yesterday. She didn't yell or curse. She just said you're even more disgusting than we thought and hung up. My aunt asked me to move out. She said having me stay with her was affecting her relationship with her church friends. Apparently word got around and people were asking her how she could harbor someone who would do what I did. I'm staying in my car now. Showering at the gym and eating fast food and sleeping in parking lots. My husband is recovering in his new apartment, surrounded by people who love him. I'm alone with a phone full of blocked numbers and a wedding ring I'm too stubborn to take off. The pregnancy scare messages are spreading beyond his family now. Someone forwarded them to my former coworkers. My boss called to make sure I knew I'm no longer eligible for rehire. Ever. I keep thinking about what my husband said about knowing it was worth it. Maybe he's right. Maybe destroying my entire life for a few weeks of feeling less alone was exactly the trade I was willing to make. The question is whether I can live with that choice now that I'm more alone than I've ever been. 6 months later and I'm writing this from a studio apartment 3 states away. New job, new name on my lease, new life built from the wreckage of my old one. I moved here after living in my car for 2 weeks and realizing I had 2 choices. Start over somewhere nobody knew my story, or give up completely. I chose to start over, though some days I'm not sure why. The pregnancy scare messages ended up being my final downfall in ways I never saw coming. My husband's sister didn't just share them with family. She posted them on a local Facebook group with over 10,000 members. Not my name, but enough details that anyone who knew us could figure it out. The post went viral in our small town. Screenshots spread to other groups, other towns. Someone created a fake dating profile using my photos with the caption cheats on dying husbands, might be pregnant with a fair baby. I found out when 3 different people sent me the link. My aunt called me crying after her church asked her to step down from the volunteer committee. The pastor said her association with me was causing too much division in the congregation. She said she was sorry but she couldn't risk losing her church family over my mistakes. I spent my last night in town sleeping in the parking lot of the hospital where my husband recovered. I know how pathetic that sounds but I wanted to be close to something that mattered before I left everything behind. Around 3 in the morning, my husband's sister pulled up next to my car. She'd been driving past and recognized my license plate. Instead of calling the police like I expected, she got out and knocked on my window. We talked for an hour sitting on the hood of her car. Really talked, not yelled or